I'll send you the link here. Here is the mural. I will be sharing my screen first and kind of like guiding you through it. And then we can start like really collaborating on that. Sec. It's going to be easiest.
Can anyone hear anything?
Same here.
Yeah, same. I thought we were waiting on something.
I thought it was just me.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's all of us.
I think this happened to him last time. And like apparently when he tries to share his screen, like kind of like collapses, his computer collapses or something. It happened to him before.
I'm just on my phone at the moment. In a few minutes, I'll be on my computer.
I can share mine if he comes back and needs it.
Hello, do you hear me? Yeah, I don't know what happened. My computer basically sort of crashed and Discord is not working too well.
Tabe, I can try to share my screen. I got it pulled up. Kotabe, if you close out your live stream, I think mine's working. It seems that way.
Okay, I hear you now. Some the volume was very low. Thank you so much for helping me streaming. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just share your screen though.
Thank you. That's great. So basically, did you heard what I said? Like that I wanted to have this very like a similar session to the Connect one.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Awesome. Okay. So okay, let's start with icebreaker. I just want to. I mean, I think most of you are already a bit familiar with how morale works because you've been in other strategy sessions. But I just want us to start just by saying how are we feeling right now. Just putting our name on one of the stickers, and then something that might not be something that others know about us, like something that we enjoy. I want to keep it simple. So why don't we start with that? I'll give 2 minutes so that we start getting familiar with that part of the mural. And yeah. Yeah, actually, so the sorry. The idea is to you can add all different images. So on the left side there is a ribbon and there is one option of images. And if you want to kind of like add some image that you relate to, we can.
I hope Kotabe can get this figured out.
I don't hear anything.
He's dropped off. Yeah,
Okay.
I hope he can get the signal figured out. Otherwise, it'll be a long hour.
Oh no.
Maybe we could try like Google Meet or something else if that's easier.
Yeah, Discord has been weird for me too. This call's fine though, but I'm not seeing any. I'm still not seeing even like yours, Jake.
Not even mine. Not even mine.
No, I'm seeing. I see the thumbnail when I hover over your name, and then but the actual share is just these two little dancing purple boxes.
Yeah, that's weird.
I have good.
Yeah, I see it.
Sorry, everything that will have gone wrong with my devices right now. And
Murphy's Law.
Okay, so why don't we start kind of like sharing? I think the couple of minutes have passed. Sharing what we put there. So, Jake, would you like to start?
Yeah, not a problem. I put my name next to the picture of Thailand. Definitely. Anytime I see a travel photo, I feel happy, and that's something for me is travel. I think that's what the 3 things were: write your name, add an image, place a sticker, say something that you enjoy. So definitely that's where I'm at.
Awesome. And
I'm assuming you probably want me to pass it since I know how the game is played. So yeah. I will pass it to Franco.
Hi. So yeah, my name is Franco, and I put my name in the girl's face, like she's looking happy and all because she just had a big nap and some coffee, and those are my favorite things, and I just had them. That's how I'm feeling right now. So I'll pass it to Cory.
I'm feeling okay, except that I can't see the stream. It's a little frustrating. But otherwise, I'm pass this to Nicola.
All right, thanks, Corey. Hi, everyone. I'm feeling like the lady down there in the yellow dress because, like, I'm looking forward to my walk in nature. I've been sitting with computer all day, so that's something that will bring me so much joy. But here and now, I will have a coffee that also brings me joy and time with friends, which is you. So also having a joy here right now. I'm going to pass it to Ashley.
Thanks, Ashley. I was on my phone, so I didn't get to put my name anywhere. But the picture of Thailand speaks to me right now. I really do feel like being on the beach, but also happy to be here with you people. It is wonderful to be talking about this. So feeling good, and I'm going to pass it to, I can't see who else hasn't gone. Rainer. I'll pass it to Rainer.
So I put my name next to the woman with the 1,000 sticky notes in the background. That's how I feel right now, because it's my last evening before I'm gonna be off for 3 weeks. What I would really like to do, or how I feel now, and what I would really enjoy now, is having everything done. And I'll pass on to Kotabi himself.
Thank you. And unfortunately, I was pre-prepared because I cannot enter my own mural right now. But I'm feeling happy. I'm very excited about this topic. I am super happy that there is so many people interested on this and here wanting to talk about it. And yeah, one thing that I really enjoy is the what's it called in English? Sea breeze. I enjoy the sea breeze. Okay, so thanks everyone. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your kind words. Jake, can you help me move a little bit? Scroll down. There we go. Yeah, to those three, and then kind of like zoom in a little bit again. Thank you so much. So first of all, I want to start talking a little bit about brainstorming tips. So in general, all ideas are good. The more, the better. So I mean, you have done probably so many brainstorming sessions, but there are no dumb ideas. Like people can build on top of others' ideas, and that's how collective intelligence is built. And so in the first session at the beginning, it just makes sense to put all the ideas there, and then it goes kind of like a cleaning, kind of like a purge of ideas and improving. But yeah, that's I think how brainstorming is better. Then I want to talk a little bit also about the importance of KPIs. So the purpose of KPIs is that they are kind of like steps, to baby steps to reach a larger objective and strategic objectives, right? And I know, and that's I think something that we should go on next. That maybe KPI is not such a nice word or something that we enjoy for it, and I think that we should givify it. We should make it our own. But the idea of being able to measure what we're trying to do and experiment and innovate and then measure again, it will help us to get to a larger objective. So I think that idea is something that we should, that it is helpful because it allows us to continue and to continue improving. So that's kind of like why I wanted to introduce this topic. And just in general about KPIs, which means key performance indicators. Some recommendations are simplify, don't overcomplicate. Some recommendations are to remember the K, which is for key, and less are more. It's better to have less KPIs that are easier to track than to have like, I don't know, hundreds or tens, and then not really representing what is more important for you as an organization, which in many corporate places can be just maximizing returns. This is not the case for us, but there are things that might be important to measure. And the last one is just kind of like also maybe corporate lingo, but it does help, which is like keep them smart, which is specific, measurable, attainable, and that are relevant, and oftentimes that are time bounded. So, but having said that, I know that KPIs is not something that many of us enjoy or think that is the best for Giveth. And so I want to give us like 5 minutes to think about how could we rebrand this word? How could we make it like a Giveth? A Giveth concept of measuring and kind of like help us improve on what we want and help Giveth to maximize its impact, but with different words. Is that clear for everyone?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's start with 3 minutes for brainstorming and 2 minutes for discussing. And time is on. Okay, so time is out. I think that there are really, really great options out here. And so I want to start a voting session. I'll give each of you 2 votes to select which are your favorites. And we'll start. If you have any questions, basically you just like click on one of the stickers and you vote. Okay, 2 people still voting, 1 person left.
I'm so sorry. I can't see anything on this presentation, so I'm not. Maybe that's why I don't have a vote. I don't even know what you guys are doing. I'm just listening. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, sorry, Corey. Well, Corey, once that you manage, jump in. I'll check so far what was the voting session results. So with 4 votes, the winner was Give It Progress Signals, GPS. And then 3 votes, Give It Awesomeness Metrics and Give Goals. So I think we have a solution. How will everybody, and I want to take a couple of minutes just to discuss this very quickly. How would you feel having Give It Progress Signals as a framework to kind of like measure and track the progress that we have? And I open the floor to anyone that wants to participate.
Exactly, me too. I echo what Ashley said.
Yes, I didn't even thought about it. Right. I love it.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Whoever came up with it, well done.
I agree. It's very smart. I like it. It's good.
Awesome. Amazing. Having a great feeling about this. So we have a new branding. We have GPS. I have to change all words in the mural about GPS.
Wow, this was so fast. Thank you. Nice.
No, thank you. Thanks everyone. I think this is great. We start feeling already kind of like more into it. It was so easy, so simple. J is for collective intelligence. Thanks, Jake, or thanks whoever is like choosing and drawing and making sure that that we remember that this is the one. GPS. Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious who came up with it.
Yeah. Don't be
I
modest.
need to give you praise.
Who is it? Don't be shy.
Who is it?
It was me, Rainer.
Nice.
Well done, Rana.
Well
Very clever.
done.
Well
Very
done.
smart.
Nice. Even I was like, I don't know.
Thanks.
Do we really want to create more confusion? And then I looked at it and I was like, GPS. This is so smart. It's good. I like it.
It's great. So, passing to the second part of this exercise, I just want to quickly, this is a quick summary of what we have done before in previous strategy sessions. So if we go to the section B to stakeholders, thank you, Jake. You're going to see some maker personas. And these maker personas are the ones that we have chose that we chose or that we talk on the second strategy session. These are a couple of those. Well, actually, the three of them are real personas that are characterizing sectors which are kind of like the lower hanging fruits for Give It in theory, which is Pilar Hernandez, which is a person from the global south where there are no mature charity systems. Humberto Beso, which is a person from a crypto native project, and Ferran, which is a community based project, sort of more on the side of anarchist kind of project. So these are the ones that we decided that were the best maker personas, the lower hanging fruits that echoed more as the people that should that will start being kind of like the early birds on Give It. And I'm right now. I don't want to take too much time for this because it's not the focus of the exercise. But this is. I just want to pose the question there. I mean, I think that these are ideal and great maker personas, but is it backed by data? Do we know if from all the makers that we have, are these really the groups that are more representative, or maybe maybe we're missing something? And I'll just ask: does anyone think that we have an analysis on this that this is backed by data?
I don't know whether they would have been categorized, but Nicola and Ashley, maybe you see a lot of the makers come through in the verification process.
Yeah, me too.
No, just and I think it's a bit like the answer. We intuitively feel, I think, that these are great personas, and maybe they do represent a big part of the population, but we don't have a way to kind of like be sure if these are the main categories or on Give It. Do we of Give It makers?
So now I understand the question better. So this is just a regular group, okay? Let me see.
I mean, when these niches were developed in the second strategy session, it was not necessarily, supposed to say what kinds of projects we have right now in our database. It was more a hypothesis about where Giveth could grow best in the future. Where's the biggest affinity? Where's the biggest use or the greatest benefit that organizations or projects could have by coming to Giveth? So there could be a difference between what we have now and what we want to have in the future. But I would be curious too, if we look into the database now, if these three groups, Global South, anarchists, and crypto native, if these essentially exhaust 90% of what's in the database. It's quite possible, but I think Nicola and Ashley know best.
There's a lot of projects coming from Africa.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree with that, and thank you very much, also Rainer, for that clarification. I just wanted to pose this question and maybe kind of like left this for food for thought for later on, because I want these murals to stay here as a living document, and maybe so right now we're going to focus on the KPIs, but for makers, for donors, and then later for other stakeholders. It will be nice to have also kind of like more identified who are the people that are using it more, and yeah, how do we want to grow with these people? So Jake, can you pass now to a little bit to the right, the types of KPIs? So I developed, I work with this. I focus myself on two main types of KPIs, two main frameworks. One is based on the funnel, on the journey that these stakeholders are having, and I have there 4 different journeys. But I think that for the community's call, it makes more sense to focus right now only on the makers and donors. And on the second framework is the community health. So on the journey is from the moment that they are strangers, in the case of the makers, when they create their own project, if they verify, when they start raising more and more, until the moment that it's kind of like the ideal journey that we have for them, when they can DAOify and they can spin off their own microeconomy, which is tokenized. And the journey for the donor is from, again, also being a stranger, get to know the platform, make their first donation, and then become a recurring donor. And then donors also become token holders. So that's the first framework, kind of like what is the ideal journey that we want to help them achieve. And the second framework is just the community health, seeing that like all the support questions are answered on time, that we keep an active donor, that they're happy, that the projects are also happy with the platform, and keep the makers active. That so the net promoter score, for example, is that they will be recommending give it to other makers because it's having a positive impact on them. So those are the 2 ways how I started framing some KPIs. But I would like to now open the floor again, and if you can scroll down, Jake, maybe I'm missing some other very important or key frameworks. So there are these other KPIs, but I also want to know right now if there are other frameworks that you believe that it will be good to track for the GPS, for the give it progress signals. So if you can go a little bit more down, Jake, to the next section, scroll down. I also want to give now 5 minutes on the number that says 4 to put some post-its there with maybe other type of frameworks of signals that progress signals that we should be tracking. Is the question clear?
Yeah, I think so. I think you've mentioned some KPIs and you have a funnel for it. And now you're asking if there's any other GPSs that we'd like to see added to it that you've already mentioned, if there's any that are missing, correct?
Yeah, the frameworks in general. I don't want to be like, we're going to go more specific on the next section, but right now I want to say like, so on the one side is like the journey that we want to help them, where we want to help our stakeholders uh, go because they want to go, and the other one is kind of like the community help. Those are the two frameworks that I came up with on these last couple of weeks. But I want to see if there are other frameworks that maybe I am missing. So I tried to collect all the information that we had on KPIs from all the documents and give it, and it's part of what is here right now. But I want to see if there's something missing. If people think that there's something missing. So I'm gonna give just a couple of minutes in case. Okay, and maybe while we wait for some people to pitch in, I would like to know from the ones that you have added, how do you think that we could go about it? Maybe we can start with theory of change. I think that maybe this was Rainer, so it will be great to know kind of like how do you think that we can track the theory of change of projects, or how could we turn that into sort of a GPS?
So added theory of change. I can add a link to the Miro board that we used a couple of weeks ago for the other session. So theory of change is a good framework if you want to have GPSs around impact. So around social impact, if you want to have indicators that actually show you if Giveth as a whole, or a part of Giveth actually creates more social impact. And you define your social impact in a theory of change, and that's what we've done a couple of weeks ago. For example, to say more projects find it attractive to receive donations in crypto, right? It's a bit of a higher order social impact goal that Giveth has, because we want to change the minds of people in the nonprofit space. We want them to see the possibilities of crypto in general. Maybe that's even more important to us than how many thousands of euros or dollars they get in crypto. And for these kinds of indicators, it's really good to base it on theory of change. For others that are more related to sort of raw performance or raw efficiency, I think for example, the journey model is beautiful that you picked. So it's more a complement than a sort of a replacement of what you suggested.
Absolutely. I don't know about everyone else, but I love this other framework. I think that we should totally have it to track our impact and kind of like, yeah, what are we doing as a North Star that someone also posted on the rebranding of KPI. Thanks, Rainer. How about the project specific metrics? So can the person that posted there go a little bit more into it?
Yeah, that was me. So I was thinking about this a bit. If you think about how can we achieve better network effects and bring on more people, one of the ways is bringing on projects that also bring in people to donate through their basically through people that want to support that project, but not in our own base of users. So they're people that they're bringing from their own audience, basically. So if we could look at that and see like how many new people were brought from a project, I think that would be useful to look at, because then it would help us basically have like network effects and scale better.
Yeah, I also really like that topic. I mean, kind of like leverage on our own community. I mean, this is what we're here for, and something that can really Web3 can really enable. I mean, on Web2 is already huge, and Web3 can also be huge. And Ahmad, did you also post the following one, the new users?
Yeah, that was me as well. So this one is something that I think is one of the challenges that we currently have. Is most of the donations that we get are from people that already know about Giveth. And I think like 70% of them are from either people that work on the team or people that are our friends or people in our direct network. So I was basically thinking like if we have metrics on how many new people we could bring on board, either that are already crypto native or that are completely new. So like basically just expanding these circles that we have, and like not just making our own circle bigger, but also going out to other circles of people that like don't know about us at all, or like might even be new to this whole world in general.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. I don't know. I want to open also the floor again. Does anyone wants to add into any of these three concepts that both Rainer and Ahmad brought into the table right now?
Sorry, there was one more that I also wrote, but I don't see it here on the screen share for some reason. It's basically social impact. So I think it would be nice to have KPIs about things that we're doing in the world. So, for example, how many wells did we help to dig? How many people did we help on the ground? So, like maybe more like social impact metrics as well.
Okay, great.
A nice idea, especially if we can get our projects to fill in that data easily. We don't have to go out and get that data, and it's an easy way. And it is a nice metric to track for also extra comms reasons, but also the team's motivation.
Yeah, I agree. And I think maybe it's part of the, I mean, it can go, or it can be part of the theory of change of their own projects, but yeah, maybe it's their own projects. Maybe it can be also part of our theory of change, like measuring the social impact metric.
I really like the social impact metrics, because I think a lot of donors, just speaking specifically about that, do want to know about those social impact metrics. So if we have those kind of available in a GPS setting, it's easier to pass those along in any type of meeting you have or the community call. It can be highlighted, maybe one of the projects of the week that had the most activity. So that's a really cool one, really deep thinking there. Nice work, Ahmad.
Yeah, I like all three of those black bubbles from Ahmad. I think all three of them are making a lot of sense to track. So I support that.
Awesome. Great. I also agree. I think all of these are important, and I will be more than happy to in a later session that we either maybe start working on it and then come again to a collective intelligence on the best ways and on how to measure them. And I would love to work with you, Ahmad, and Rainer on developing this further. Now I wanna come back to the other frameworks that are a bit more developed right now and get your opinions also on those. So if we can go, sorry. Oh.
Sorry, that was me. It's 10 to 7, but I think you should keep going for another half hour after 6 or 7.
Yeah, okay, maybe this is a good point. I also to do kind of like a temperature check and just see. So there is more on the mural. There is one exercise. So 10 minutes, I think, will be good for finishing one per section. But also we like I didn't put that it will be like a 90-minute session. I don't know if what will more people prefer to keep going or to stop and then have a follow-up session at another day.
I'd prefer to keep going because it takes time to get to this point in the thought tunnel.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, I can keep going, but only till 15 minutes past the hour. So someone will have to take the screen over then if we still need the shared screen at 15 past.
Yeah, sorry to say, but I also have another call in like 10 minutes. But yeah, I mean, let's see what we can do until then.
Okay, great. So, Jake, can you go zoom in again? We're on the maker's funnel. So this is what I believe is what will be the ideal scenario for a maker. From being a stranger to become aware. Maybe at some point, right now we don't have anything to make them leads. At some point, it might be good to get some leads on projects. Create their own project, get it verified. Again, this is not necessarily like projects don't need to be verified, but this will be like ideal for the microeconomies that we're going to spin up. Start raising maybe 1,000K first, then 10,000K, then 100K, and from there. And I know we're not ready now, but be ready to spin up their own microeconomy. And on this journey, so these are kind of like the main KPIs that I believe, GPS, that I believe are very important. The number of new makers touch. So like, are we presenting about Givet? Are we going to Barcelona? Are we reaching out to new audiences? Like, is, as they said in the community call, and I was super happy to hear that, new people that get touched by the Medium post. And I know it's a hard metric, but it's interesting to try to see how many people, how many new organizations are touching on, and as Ahmad said, not only grow our circle, but like try to get into other new circles. So these are in general, mostly the GPS that I have chosen here are the new ones that pass into the next stage of the funnel. And the ones that are in the stage at the moment. And that is kind of like to prevent bottlenecks. So this is the case for makers. This is the case for donors and for other stakeholders. And I just want to give maybe a couple of minutes for feedback and for anyone to post there something if they feel that it's missing. So what do you think about this funnel? Does it make sense to you? Do you think that that there's something missing? Do you think that there's something that should not be there? Yeah, I just want to hear your opinions.
I have one comment on this. So I think that the funnel is really good, but I don't think it would be relevant for people on a high level unless they're working on that thing. Yeah, I mean, because I just think it's like too much information for someone on a high level. So probably it would make sense to have like the final number be like the main thing that we're looking at, and then all of these the other levels of the funnel are looked at like basically yeah, like with that person who's in charge of that thing.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, I am not thinking about like super high level GPS that are only tracked by Givet in general, but kind of like how can we help ourselves and each other to see if there are like bottlenecks. So, for example, I know that there are so many projects that have not that get their new project. Some of them get verified, some of them don't, and then we have apparently a big bottleneck on like starting racing. So there are projects that are verified but they never raced, and if we start realizing that there are so many projects that are there and that are not racing, then we can start thinking about, okay, how can we help those projects raise? Because maybe they have absolutely no idea about fundraising. And then we once that we realize that there is a bottleneck and that there are, I don't know, 400 or 500 projects in there, then we realize, okay, we have to do something to help them start raising. So that's how I thought about it. That's why I can like think that it's important to see how many projects are in each part of the stage.
I agree. I think that it's nice to get these these GPSs, and that I agree with Ahmad. We wouldn't need to put these out for everyone. It's more for the teams that are working on it. My question is, do we have the technicalities at the moment to see these numbers at each stage, or is this the start of the plan to get to making sure that we can quantify each step of this funnel? I don't know if that was clear, but are we able to see the numbers that each stage of this funnel at the moment? Like, is that
you're asking if we have
milestones? Mm-hmm.
You're asking if we have the data already, or this is how we create the demand on the data for the data.
Yeah.
And then pick the tools and technicalities how to measure them. Do I understand that right?
Yes. I know that we've got some data, but I don't know whether we've got this data for each stage, as Kotabi has laid it out here.
That's a good question. I don't have an answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we could get the data. I mean, all of it is somewhere, but I don't think that we're looking at it at the moment. And I think, yeah, like for like a wider point, I think that we do need to have like a baseline of like, this is where we currently are with our data, and like basically say like, this is how much we want to improve on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I know that we've got some data in Amplify. Was it Amplify? There was one of the platforms that was specifically for
Amplitude.
our
Yeah.
Amplitude. Sorry. yeah, maybe it's possible for us to dig deeper and get to each stage in this funnel as it's laid out here. That would be a good start, and we can do that for the donors, and that would already give us a good idea, a base, then setting those exact milestones that we need to reach. Is Corey still on the call? Corey, you are.
Yes.
There was you had mentioned that you know quite a bit about, you have a sales background, and working with these funnels you might be quite familiar with. There some data that you had worked with previously in some positions, and ways to work out like milestones and which ones are the important ones, which ones are the superficial ones.
Yeah, I mean, I have definitely some experience in that. I mean, in this whole arena, right? Because like most of my career, I've been heavily measured by KPIs or GPSs, and yeah, also manage teams this way. So yeah, it just comes down to. I mean, I think we're going about it the right way right now, like fleshing out what's really most important, right? And also rethinking things in a new way, because a lot of things have just come down to like pure numbers, and not everything is just about, it's like qualitative measurements over simply quantitative measurements are also really important, I think, to like have a good blend of both. Am I coming out of nowhere on this, or?
No, yeah, I agree. I think that's a great point.
Okay, so
Yeah.
from this point, the way forward, and I don't want to jump the gun if you've got a plan in mind, Katabi, but what I see from this is identifying the exact data, the numbers that we need, where we're at, and from that we'd be able to then set ourselves those goals for each specific section, one on the makers, the projects, one for the donor. Is that what you had in mind?
Yes, and also just thinking about, because maybe some of these things that we would like to measure are not so straightforward, or we don't have the mechanism to start measuring that right now. But if we agree that it is important, then we can start thinking about how to do it, proxies, and or maybe create the mechanisms to do it.
Sorry, I need to drop off, but it was super helpful this session, just to have a clear view of this. I know that it's a work in progress, but it's helpful, especially if someone is onboarding to the Giveth team, just to get to know the funnel of these different personas. So I think that it would be great to have another session, and if we also, as you mentioned, Kotabe, keep this mural open for keep working on it. Although we're not on a call, so thank you so much again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I need to drop off too, and that means that the stream will end. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh, okay.
But we can still carry on without a stream, because Jake's still got an extra 15 minutes.
Yeah, I still got 15 minutes. I was going to say,
I mean
Kotabe.
the recording, like the live stream. So it will stop recording whenever I leave.
Oh, okay. Well, it's okay. Thank you, Ashley. Thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, everyone.